What is up, everybody? Today we are going to be making our own DIY AC slash swamp cooler for your project car. All that in today's episode. My name is Ryan. This is Project Race Car. Let's get into it. So if you're like me, you have a project car that doesn't have AC, and the AC solution might not be as simple as you had hoped. For me, retrofitting an AC unit is actually pretty difficult. We have a K24 and we have a bigger front sump oil pan in the front, which eliminates the space over here on the intake side for the AC unit. Now, there are brackets that actually swap it to the exhaust side. But if we go over here on the exhaust side, you can see the both the wastegate and the turbo drain line actually get in the way of where the AC unit would be. So the next logical step would be to go with a electric AC unit, which is obviously good, but they can get very expensive very quickly. One of the kits that I was actually looking at for a AC compressor that is electric was actually $1,200. And that just wasn't quite in the budget. However, we do live in Austin, Texas, so the summers here are pretty brutal. So today I wanted to show you guys a very cheap option if you guys are just looking for a simple AC slash swamp cooler that we are going to make today. The parts are super cheap and we are going to use very little tools for this job. The system is very simple. We just have a 30-quart ice chest that we will fill with ice, and then we have the intake which will actually sit outside of the car, and essentially as we drive, air will be pushed into there, it'll push on the ice and then actually blow out cold air through this little tube. Some of the other DIY ice chests that I've seen online, they actually mount a fan, but then you have to use the 12-volt battery source, which is kind of obnoxious. I plan to do a 15-hour car road trip with this car, and so I will be moving most of the time. So we can just use the air from outside, it'll get pushed into the box, and then blow out cold air. And I know this is quite a bulky unit, but I got one that is more tall than it is wide, so it actually fits pretty well in the car. As for the snorkel, I got a soft rubber things, that way it can actually get squished in between whatever thing you are trying to mount it to. For us, we are mounting it to the sunroof of the car, but you could just as easily do the window. The ice chest very easily mounts right behind the passenger seat and essentially just sits there, and then the air is directed directly to the driver. However, I'm gonna try to mount it in the back seat and actually strap it in. So let's see how that goes. The plastic on the ice chest is actually pretty thin, so I just used a razor blade and traced with a marker outlined the actual circle, and then cut it with the razor blade, and it worked really easily. You could very easily use a hole saw to actually get the holes through, but I found razor blade works great. Currently I'm just using these reusable bricks of ice, especially before while I'm just driving around town. These things work great, and I can just load it up, and then on the actual road trip I'll just stop at gas stations, fill the ice up and wait for it to melt, and then pull it out, drain it, and then refill it again. So the bags of ice are super cheap and they're easy to refill and then just dump whenever the ice melts. But today we're just going to be using the reusable bags, and it should do great for us. Right, so we got our little intake set up, and then that goes down and then into the ice chest, and the ice chest cools the air and then blows it right back onto the driver. So I got these this extra foam board. It's just a construction insulation board, and essentially this will just sandwich in and essentially block all the air that's, the extra air, so that we can keep this as closed as possible. And here it is, these things are set in place, they block the wind noise. This thing's able to, divert some of the wind as well. And then a passenger can sit just fine, no issues, and then the driver as well, no issues. All right, it's currently 87 degrees, I am already starting to sweat. Let's go run a few errands with this thing and see how it does. So you can actually start to feel the AC start to, kick on at like 20 miles an hour. It starts blowing. And what's really nice about it is that the ice chest actually breaks the wind. And so the wind comes in, but it's not just like blowing, directly in your face. It actually breaks the thing. So it's a nice calm breeze, which is really nice. Even upwards of 60 miles an hour. But you can already feel the thing. It's blowing out cold air, and it actually keeps it to where we can have the windows up and not too much wind noise, which will be really nice on a longer road trip. But yeah, especially if I stay above 20-30 miles an hour, it's blowing like a nice breeze on me, and it's actually cold. I'd say it's probably in the 65 to 70 degree range, which is good enough to survive the road trip and be at least a little something. I'd imagine it would cool down a lot more if I had a full bag in there, a full bag of ice, which is what I plan to do. But currently it is 90 degrees outside, and it's humid as well, and we are driving with the windows up, and I actually cooled down. I was sweating outside, but now I'm actually a lot cooler inside, which is again kind of crazy concept. So this works. It was super cheap. It was less than $50. I think it was like 42 or something. $42 for everything, including the ice chest, and I think it is a mission success. Alright, that is going to end it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and until next time, my name is Ryan, and this is Project Race Car.